Good evening, YouTube. I wanted to cover this image with you, but from the looks of it, it was shot at dark, so from the looks of it, there's nothing there. But time you go digging into the image, you'll see that there really is. So what we have here is a silhouette of a full-size Sasquatch behind a tree, and then there's a giant standing up behind him. I don't know if you can make that out, but you will by the time we get to the end of the footage. So we'll go to edit, bring it down here. See, the giant is leaning in over his shoulder. So we're going to go to exposure, turn the exposure up a little bit. You see his face is starting to come through there. He's looking down to keep his eyes from reflecting back. You can see the muscles in his shoulders and his hands. Clear down to his hands. He's got wild hair, but his body is not completely covered in hair. And then the giant behind him looks like he might have a juvenile on his head with his arm wrapped down around his jaw. I can't tell. Or that's hair. One of the two. Juvenile or hair. But it's definitely a giant. Let's see here. And you can see the muscle definition in that giant in his chest right there. Look how this guy's standing out. He reminds me of Liver King. That's who he looks like, Liver King. So, and the giant's got a juvenile on his back, or another giant standing behind him, one of the two. So let's see. So I'll turn that up to make him stand out there a little bit so you can get a good image of him. I think he's even got a juvenile on his head looking the other way. But he's partially hidden behind that tree. There's face showing a little better there. Okay, we'll turn the shadows back up. If I turn that contrast all the way up, you can see the giant pretty well there coming in. Look at his face, how big his eyes is, his white teeth, his high ridge brow, his nose, his wavy hair. But that kind of looks like a juvenile with his hand down here. They're trying to break the silhouette up of his face is what it kind of looks like to me, but I could be wrong. And then there's his chest, and then his hands down here, pushing on this piece of wood right here. Just a second here. I'm gonna go to markup real quick, just so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. So that giant's got his arm clear down here like this, and it's extended out like that, and his fingers are down like that in case he's got to grab that adult standing there and take off. And then his pecs are right here. His chest is like that. He's huge, man. And then his ribs, you can see his ribs right there. There's his pec muscles. Right? There's his face, his wavy hair. There's his nose. His eyes are right there. There's his mouth. There's his beard that comes around like that. You see him? He's a monster. He's every bit of 15, 18 foot tall. This first Sasquatch here is a full-size adult. He is a full-size adult leaning up against that tree. He's got a little juvenile looking this way. Right? There's another little juvenile right here looking between the wood pile. There's possibly another one right here, over here to the left. But that giant, he's a monster. I'm going to go ahead and unmark this. Just to clear the footage up a little bit. But yeah, that's his hand right there. All the way up to there, that's that giant's hand. Look how massive that hand is. It's enormous. And he's reaching out in case he has to grab that giant up. Or grab that adult Sasquatch. Look how big his hand is to that adult. So right here is the adult. That hand is like that massive compared to that adult Sasquatch. And he's going to pick him up and run with him. It's massive. I can't even really put an estimate really on how big that giant is. He's just massive, man. But this is good footage. I don't care what anybody says, but it is good footage. It's showing, you can see the giant clear. Yeah, it might not be the perfect footage, but you can tell he's there. And you can tell that the Sasquatch down below him there too. Let me see here. I'm going to try to add a little bit of sharpness and a little bit of definition in here. Try to... Okay, so you see the first guy there. Try to bring that giant out a little bit. But yeah, he's there, plain as day. Anyways, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Peace.